Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards, Marika's of the Elden Ring.
Oh, yes. Tarnished, are we? Come, of course you are unfortunate without guidance, without the strength of runes, and you are me. Are you familiar with grace? You may all that. Indeed. Grace's guidance, it will lead even if
I can also that you're not, then why not? I am Carlin. I am selling where the land is only, let's say, goodbye.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve, but I can turning to aid you. You need to the foot. Then it summon me. I bequeath. Use it. It will torrent. Treat him with.
everyone who only to have that. Did you know it's quite the you've been heading to entice well that, but I don't have. It's scared. I want on nothing. Can you and it'll be glad. It will tell them I love and finally get. It will tell them I love and finally get him.
This light, but now you can see the rays upon a demigod. If the ray and the elder as an ally pray to face.
So go ahead and race at this grace.
This way, tarnished. May I have a wood? I am the witch. I'd heard tent upon the talk thou art but to call forth. I was instructed by torrents. 'Tis a bell for summon the spirits will obey thine command but briefly, as they recall battles past. Now it is thine, to do with as thou wishest. Forgive my doubt. How long will before the time?
Picking that up later, but just keep in mind there's going to be a seed here. So after that, we're going to go east for the War Master. I'm going to mark some stuff. We want to go pretty much right here. And as we're running, if you see anything in the field, pick it up. These little skulls, when you run over them with your horse, they'll crack. grab another grace. If enemies are pursuing you, you can always activate a grace, and then you can rest at it as long as you're not actively in combat, like with them hitting you.
Let me ask,
Talk to him. Tell him my faith holds firm. And this guy has a bunch of different ashes wars you can pick up, so if any of these sound good, pick them up. Now, I will say that this guy has a legendary weapon. It is one of the armaments you need for your platinum. Now, you can kill this guy right now and get it, but there's a rather long quest chain that he's involved in, and towards the end of it, he's going to invade you, and you can kill him then and get it. So, you know, if you really want to just get the weapon now, get it out of the way, go for it. I will say that you will lock yourself out of getting the Bloody Wolf armor. So, that armor from the Bloody Wolf class, or the Bloody Knight, or whatever it was in the network test, the one you've seen in all the promotional art, if you kill this guy now, you cannot get that armor. So, just, you know, food for thought. I would suggest waiting. Okay, so do that, then we're gonna go this way, and then we're gonna go this way. So what we're gonna want to do here, we're getting some quick upgrade mats. We're just gonna head south. And you can see there's some giants here. We just want to run past one, get them to look at us, and then go hang out by the statue. Run on over to that other marker. Drive by, loot thief. If you get hit, just keep running. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. There's an item in this camp right here, but these guys can overwhelm you, so just be a little careful if you're going to snag the exalted flesh. And then we want to run up this cliffside.
Hello? Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck. Hello?
So talk to this guy.
I just give and I'll don't dally. Give it your all.
Give him a couple whacks.
Well played, son. Well played. Oh, that mighty wallop of yours, woman. Well,
Can you hear me? Help me.
I
Once
am
again,
peace. Might just give and I'll
Don't dally.
give it your all. These land upon their southern. I'd heard it doesn't. I'm headed to Redmayne Carter, I've heard.
Alright, so we run through his dialogue. There is fall damage in the game, but it's deceptive, so the best piece of advice I can give is you're going to have to get a feel for how far you can go with your horse. But at that point, we're going to rest right here. And this is where we are going to wrap up. So, to give you an idea of where we're going to move forward from here, in the next episode, we're going to swing through this region, and we're going to swing through the region right below here, just to grab some more items. After we get all of those things, then we're going to actually start hitting Limgrave properly and knocking out all the stuff here. What is happening, y'all? Welcome back to episode 2 of the walkthrough. So this time around, we're going to be knocking out the eastern portion of Limgrave, which can be known as the Mistwood, and the southern portion, which can be known as the Weeping Peninsula. So there's a pumpkin head on the bridge. Go ahead and ignore this guy for now. We just want to run past him. There's going to be 2 more smithing stones we'll pick up right there. We're going to keep on heading this way over towards Summon Water Village. We're going to be hitting this area a little bit later, but there is a boss here that has a key item we need for a quest in addition to... let's go on and talk to D real fast. This guy is going to go to the hub in a little bit. You can just talk to him. It doesn't really matter if you talk to him, you can still complete his quest. But yeah, he has a key item, and in addition to that, this one in particular has a pretty nice summon for early game. It's going to summon these 2 skeletons that will keep respawning over and over unless something hits them after they're already down, which most bosses and NPCs won't. So they're definitely a really solid summon choice because they last. So while we're going to be ignoring him, we're not going to be ignoring everything that's here. And what we want to do is stay to the right side of the ruins. And you can see over there on the left that gravestone icon. That is the Ashen icon. That's the summon, meaning that we can summon up our dudes. We're not going to summon them up and try to actually fight this guy. You want to go over here. And when you see the turtles, you know you're in the right area. We're going to use our first stone sword key. Now, even if you didn't start with the stone sword keys, we picked one up back at the hut where we met the lady in the last episode, so you should still be good. But you can kill these turtles if you want for turtle flesh. It's used for crafting a couple different things. But the real reason we came here is to pop this chest open and get ourselves a juicy first talisman, the green turtle talisman. This is going to boost your stamina recovery speed for my Souls veterans. You may also know this as the Chloranthy ring. Super useful item, almost regardless of what build you're on. You know, you can never go wrong with stamina regeneration. So from here, we're going to head south, and once we get to the cliff edge, we can ignore this guy. This is going to be a cerulean scabbard. You can always tell based on the color. The red ones, and not just the orb, but the scarab itself. The red ones are going to replenish your flasks. The blue ones will replenish your other flasks. So keep an eye on what color the scarab itself is to know if you're going to get an item out of it. So I'm just going to come right here. I'm going to grab these things real fast. Now, we're not going to be immediately popping all of these runes for levels. In general, what I like to save runes for is when I'm short. So what I mean by this is as we're playing through content, let's say that we're about to go into a boss battle and we're like 1,000 runes short of getting a level. That's when we're going to use this stuff. We're going to use it. We're going to get enough so that we can grab our level, and then that'll just make things a lot more comfortable. So we're going to grab that, head south, runes for tombs. We're going to go down for a shiny that has sacred blade. He should be this way, I believe. Where is Mr. Sacred Blade at? It's near the church. There's the church. I can hear him. There he is. So this is a spirit spring jump. These will boost you on up, but they'll also soften your fall when you jump towards them. You can see how I kind of have like a wind aura swirling around my horse. If you see that, you're in the clear. So go on and kill this guy. That's going to give us Sacred Blade, and this is a super useful Ash of War for the early game catacombs, because it's going to give you holy damage, which will allow you to kill the skeletons in one hit. After that, we're going to run into this church. Just to show where we're at on the map, here's the church, there's Summon Water Village. We're going to get our Flask of Wondrous Physic. This thing is super awesome, one of my favorite additions to the game. It's a mix and max potion where you can pick exactly what you want, what effects you want in the potion from things you find out in the world. And then it's single use, but still just like a really cool item, you know? Make your own potion. I love it. Okay, from here, we are going to go northeast. And right here in this water, it's going to be a teleporter. I'll go on and take this, and this is going to yeet us across the map into an area where we probably don't belong, but we're going to go anyway. Now, those of you that played the network test, I'm sure you remember how awesome Beast Claw was. Super cool ability. This is the NPC you get that from. But to get Beast Claw, you need to feed him a bunch of death roots. Death roots drop from the Mariners, and there's a couple other locations throughout the world that have them. But that guy at Summon Water Village that we could have fought, killing him is going to get us the item we need to give to this guy. But there's no reason to interact with him right now.
Forgive me to determine if you have. It seems torrent, whereas there is, but I can take gathering. Very well, let my hand.
We can't, you know, you could interact with them right. now, but don't worry about it. Do not try fighting this gargoyle. He will absolutely beat your ass at this point in the game. He does drop a really nice sword for faith builds, though. Has a really cool weapon art. I used it a lot in my own playthrough. Grab the seed. And I would not suggest trying to fight these guys right now. They can basically instant kill you. We're just going to keep hauling this way, and we're trying to run to that grace you see right there. In fact, we're not going to be fighting like anything out here. Just going to put this. There is a Ash of War you can get from a shiny ball over there, but at this point in the game, it's going to take you a lot of hits to kill it, so I wouldn't recommend it. So as we rest, she is going to show up. Go ahead and run through her dialogue. She's going to take us to the round table hold.
There is, but I can take gathering plate. Very well. Let me.
So next, what we're going to do here is we're going to go north and then loop around this rock. And this is going to be an early farming area that we're going to take you to. Now, I've got to give credit to Boomstick Gaming. He's the one who actually found this little spot. Prior to knowing about this, I was killing these little dudes out here that would jump on you, because you get 1,000 runes per kill with them. But this is definitely a safer farm, and one that I think is a lot more beginner friendly. So we're just going to head on over this way. There's little poison things on the ground, so be a little bit careful as you're running through, and you'll avoid those just fine. Now, in general, I am not going to recommend you do a ton of farming. We're going to farm up enough souls to upgrade our weapon, and that's about it. The levels will come pretty easily. If you're really, really struggling in the game, that's when I would suggest farming, but, I mean, you don't, trust me when I say you don't need to farm in this game by any means. You can get through just fine without, you don't need to farm up 30,000. Souls and level up a bunch at the start. So this is a puzzle tower. There's a bunch of these throughout the world. This one, usually that statue gives you instructions, but it's broken. But I'm going to show you all how to solve it anyway. So it's pretty easy. We're just going to jump right here and aim for that balcony. Dismount the horse, and we're good. Run on up here. And this isn't really needed on our build, but those mage builds will benefit from this. This is going to get you an early memory stone, and that is going to increase the amount of casting slots you get. So it's really nice to snag one of these early so you can start getting your the amount of casts you have available up. And there's another one of these that will snag within a couple episodes to have you at 4 casting slots, and then one that we can buy from a merchant that'll have you at 5 casting slots. And if you can, I mean, if you can use more than 5 spells at this point in the game, honestly, that's impressive. Because I don't think I know of 5 spells at this point in the game that's even useful, but we're going to get it either way. And real fast, I'm just going to run down here. I don't believe there's anything, but we didn't check in the prep notes, so I just want to confirm. Oh, we have that guy. Yeah, I don't know if you can even kill him at this point. Actually, no, don't kill him at this point. We need him alive. We need him alive. I'm pretty sure that's the guy that summons the ball, because I remember trying to remember how to stop the balls, but we want the balls. So I know you're like, balls, what is he talking about? We're going to show you the ball farm, and this is the one that Boomstick discovered that we're going to talk about. So the balls are being summoned by that thing that's in there. If we kill that, the balls will stop. But what we want to do is just run down here, and right about the time we get over to these rocks, you can hear it, and we're going to cut, and we're going to turn to the right. And that ball is going to fall off. Just keep looking in the direction of the ball, and you can see that you're going to get a quick 2,000 souls. So at that point, you can warp back to Lenny's Rise, and you can do this on rinse and repeat. You can do it as many times as you need. Like I said, I don't recommend just being like, you don't need to sit here and farm up a ton of souls to get super powerful in the early game. But if you're short and you need a couple souls to upgrade your weapons, I think it's worth it doing that. Now it's important that you watch the ball go off the cliff. If you don't see it go off the cliff, it's not going to give you the souls. So let's see. From here, we're going to hop back over to our church. Yeah, you're already seeing just how big this world is. The craziest thing is this is the distance we see is maybe like 15% of the total world. There's so much to this place. So we're going to go back to this church. We go back to church at East Limgrave, talk to dude, then hit the map fragment. Oh yeah, what's his face? Talk to him. So we are going this way, and then we're going to go this way. We'll just ride on out towards that broken structure you see. You can see this one is red, so that's going to restore Estus. I'm not worried about killing that. Well, flasks, Estus, same thing. I'm going to end up calling runes souls and graces bonfires. It's like muscle memory at this point.
Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great captain.
So go on and just talk to this guy. He's going to give you a quest to clear out an area down south. We're going to do that, but we just need to, you know, my fort, blah, blah, blah. I'll give you a reward. That's good. Take that off, and now we're going to head down here and get a map marker. So when a map is unveiled, you can usually see these icons. You can't see it in underground zones, but any other zone, those icons are what are going to unveil the map. Now this area is known as the Mistwood. It is an early game area, but there are these things that I've decided to call rune bears because I fought one that was a boss and it was called rune bear. I would not mess with the rune bears right now. Just to point this out, this is like a treasure ghost. It's weird. They'll summon. I'm going to show it. I already know where it goes, but it's going to summon this guy who's going to walk a couple steps and disappear, walk a couple steps and disappear. And if you feel like spending 5-6 minutes following him, he's going to lead you to some treasure. But we are not worried about that. Instead, we are just going to head on over here. We're going to pick this up. You can try and grab that. Do not fight the bear. Nope, don't fight the bear. Gotta get a little bit of distance here before I pull up the map. There's a couple things we're hitting out here while we're over here, but I don't want to be in combat while I'm doing it. Alright, that howling is good. We want to go over there. So that howling is an NPC. We're going to come back later to interact with him, but for now, there are some things we want in the Mistwood Ruins. Now this place has one of those big old bears that I was talking about, so you're going to want to be careful. Do not poke the bear. But we can go here. I would suggest staying crouched. Keep the bears. That. Get the thing from the chest. They're still sleeping, which is good. This is going to get you another talisman. So we'll enhance charged attacks, which is pretty nice. Like I said, charged attacks are really good. Let me see. What do we got here? Bird tree, kill the shiny along the path. Have the 2 flasks in the tree. Southeast, west. Okay, just checking my notes. So next we're gonna head on over to the Erd tree where I marked. There should be a shiny. I can hear you. No? Stop running. If for some reason one of these ever gets away, all you need to do is just system here, quit game. And then when you reload in the game, it will be right back there. They're very similar to the things that we're able to spawn. Now there's a bunch of them near here, but these are not ones that we need to worry about killing at all. And if you want your flasks, you want to beat it down. But we came over here to get access to these 2 things. Now, while you're over here, you know, let's just get it. I guess it wouldn't hurt to get it now. It'll save us some time later running back here. This is an area I would not recommend you do anything with for the time being. But we can go down and get the very first grace, and then we'll just come back up. So on top of the massive expansion to the map we've already seen, there are also multiple underground regions in this game. Like, in the review I said that like the running theme of the game is there's more. And it's because every time you think you've seen it all, a whole new area shows up. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it doesn't really stop. This is why I wasn't gonna do this in the notes. It's just a long ass elevator, man. How y'all doing today? Kind of looks like a tired Orlando Bloom a little bit. So, I'm just gonna grab this. We're not doing anything else here. We're just going to get this gray slate and come back here later. And you can tap R3 to toggle between those states. Next, we're gonna go here and here. So we're just gonna warp back up. It's probably faster for me to just run down the road than it is to take that massive elevator back up. The road than it is. So in those states. Next, we're gonna go here and here. Anyway, EP items. He has cookbooks. This gives you Beastler Pot and Exalted Flesh. Exalted Flesh. This cliff looks a little sketch. There we go. Every time you find a merchant, talk to them, just see if they have anything you want. That's what it's just. Though I will say I'm not sure if it gives you iframes. I don't believe it does, but anyway, point being, horse go fast.
Please, I'm angry.
Too much EP item. Know that PvP by default is turned off in Elden Ring. If you are playing by yourself and you're not summoning, no one besides NPCs can ever invade the game. So, you know, if you're one of those people that you dread invasions, don't worry about it. You're going to be just fine. There's going to be some NPC invasions that'll happen, but players won't come in. If you don't like it, that's too bad. That's part of the game. Throughout the world, that is like here. I want to be good. I just got to go far enough that I'm out of combat. That sound means I'm still in combat. I guess we could hop up here and hit this real fast, but... There we go. These off. And we're gonna go back to... Well, let me look at my notes. Head on south. Grab the gray sombering. Continue south. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll do this. I don't want to deviate from my notes, because like in my head I'm like, oh well, this route could be good, but if I deviate from my notes, I know I'm gonna end up missing something. Just gonna stay on the notes. Now there's a couple things here that are important in Gayfront. Like I said, we're not worried about we're not doing content yet. Right now, this is all still, this is preparing. We are trying to run through, we're grabbing a couple graces, we're going to a couple places, we're getting a couple key items that will, overall, it'll make your playthrough a lot smoother. So don't worry about like trying to explore zones in depth and collecting everything. I promise we're gonna get to all of that. So, I know people are probably like, there's stuff in Gayfront, you missed it. Like, trust me, I know, we're gonna get there, but... Now this is, think of this like practice before the big game. We're doing a bunch of stuff right now that'll make your experience smoother when the time comes. Kill that. There's a one upgrade thing here we'll grab. Grab the somber smithing stone. We're gonna run this way. Ignore the caravan for now. We're not worried about that. In fact, I'll just stay to the right of it, just so all that stuff doesn't aggro onto you. We're just gonna keep heading south for now. Probably the biggest risk at this point are going to be these dudes on horseback, because they will try and chase you down, so just be aware of them. Hit this grace. Run this way, continuing down towards the Beacon Peninsula. I'm going to grab the map down there and grab a couple of important items. Now there is a ballista on approach here. I have never been hit by it. These guys are super inaccurate, but, you know, just wanted to put it out there just so people are aware of it. Get to her later. I'm not exactly sure if her quest has a trigger with the other regions we're going just yet, so I would just wait. In my note, Morningstar, anything that can do bleed, it is one of the best things in the game for fighting bosses, and you don't need to go like all in on it, you know. You don't be enough. So crackpots are always good. We don't need that note.
Buying or selling?
Crimson, we're gonna always, it's already the evening, so we are gonna warp things right where we're at. So more, going all the way down. And now what we want to do, well, let me just rest at the grace so I'm out of combat from that archer. So you can see, looking at that, I can see that the Morning Star is gonna have more attack power, and on top of the grace, so I'm out of combat. It's called Rune Bear. I would not mess with the Rune Bears right now. Just to point this out, this is like a treasure ghost. Too much. Whole area is misty. This cliff looks a little sketch. There we go.
Welcome. Yes, right.
Every time you find a merchant, talk to them, just see if they have anything you want. If you want to invade people, that's how you invade people, is those things. Which, by the way, on the note of invasions, you should know that PvP by default is turned on. I don't think it's worth it. Stone Sword Keys, always worth it. But we're going to pick up that. And what else did you have? The Bastard Sword. 1610. It's not bad. Not bad at this point. So we're just running back onto where we saw that. Morningstar is going to have more attack power.
Hey, it's Matt, your average gamer. For this, it's still going on currently, so they're a good option for posture breaks in general, and they're a good option as a strength build to hit stuff hard. You'll hit 90 bleed in total. That's where it is in the bleed on it, and with Blood Flame, you'll hit 90.
And on top of that, it has bleed, so that's already an auto pickup for me. So we have the map now, and what we're going to do is follow this path, and we want to swing into this village for a key item. We're going to get that, and then we're going to head up north for a grace, which should be right around here. And then we're going to head out west for a church. And then, let's see, church, and then we're going to head southwest for the lantern, which is down here. So we have our markings, just to show those again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, even though I am suggesting you play with a quality build, and I will be playing with a quality build for the series, I am going to go out of my way and show y'all where a starter item is for pretty much every build style. So regardless of what you want to do, if you want to play Faith, or you want to play Dexterity, or Strength, or, you know, like I said, whatever you want to do, rest assured, between this episode and the next episode, you will have some really, really brutal starter items. So grab the Sacred Tear, be careful of these rats. Grab that, that's Flame of Frenzy, that's what we wanted. And then we're gonna head out to number 2. Now, Flame of Frenzy is a absolutely devastating spell. I cannot stress this enough. Even moving all the way towards the very end of the game, my level 150 Faith build that I just put up on the channel, I still use that spell as one of my main damage dealers. So if you're playing a Faith build, trust me when I say that will carry you. That is your nuke if you want to be a Faith boy. Take 1 and 2 off just to make things a little bit easier. Now we're going to head on out to that church. Need to... safe. The horse. I always love doing this after like thinking about how long it took me to find certain things on the Let's Play. And, you know, the blind experience is infinitely different. It's crazy to think, you know, the start we're getting right now is just leagues ahead. I mean, we're talking like JV ball versus professional baseball. That's the level of difference in the start we're getting ourselves now versus how things went in the Let's Play. And that's why I also tell people, man. People are like, can I follow this as a guide when they're looking at the Let's Play? And I'm like, I mean, I don't think you should. Because it's, you know, it's not curated at all. We're all over the place. Anytime I see ruins, I try to pick up rune fragments. You use those to make your little shiny rainbow stones, and there are a lot of areas that rainbow stones are useful in this game. Not even just like, you know, invisible walkway type stuff, which obviously they're useful for that, but there are a lot of dungeons that are easy to get lost in, and so having the rainbow stones as breadcrumbs to mark where you've been makes things really easy. Now this is a mausoleum. Mausoleums can be used to duplicate a boss remembrance, which is basically the soul of the boss. So if you get a boss remembrance, and let's say the boss has a weapon that you really want, but he also has a spell that you really want, you can go to these and make a second boss remembrance so that you can get both of those items. In a similar fashion, if you don't care about either of the boss's items, but you want 3 souls, duplicate the boss's soul and then gobble them both up. Okay, this is one of the most important merchants. Let's see how much it's going to cost us. It will be 1,800. 5 is worth 1,600, and then I'll take the single one. And the reason we came all this way was to get the lantern, which, oh my god, such a boon. So I like putting that as a pouch item as well. Lantern and horse are 2 things I'm always going to need. So you can see how much light the torch gives us. Even without the torch, you can see things are still pretty well lit. And I really got to give them credit there. The lantern does not mess around in this game. So from here, we're going to go back to the Church of Ella. But I really got to give him credit there. The lantern does not mess around in this game. So from here, we're going to go back to the Church of Ella. Oh, hang on. Actually, there's one I missed while we were down there. Well, we'll get it later. There's another church out here that we can get a sacred tear from, but there's also a bunch of there's like stuff and a boss and a thing, so we'll just save that for later. So we want to talk to this guy. He's going to have some dialogue about howling in the Mistwood.
Next time you hit, don't fret, just have it.
He's going to give you finger snap, which is what we want. We are going to warp. Let's go Fort Hyatt West. And then we want to head back to the Mistwood Ruins. Same as before, we're going to avoid the bear, but we're going to summon down an NPC, and he's going to help us kill our first mini-boss and get the weapon that I would like to use for this playthrough. Don't wake the bear. There he is up top. We'll switch this to finger snap. Where is it at? Point.
goes there?
Carly said, the name's Bloody fled, so tell me I can offer you. Stand in need. Stand in need. Darrowell. Rotting in a cell is no true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
And end up fighting stuff. This is the weapon. What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back